Ever wonder why the world's oceans, despite being vast and seemingly separate, are so interconnected? What if the secret to thriving in business lies in a similar interconnectedness? You know what I mean, right? Let's dive into the world of inclusivity in business and see how it mirrors the natural wonder of ocean currents. Inclusivity in business is all about bringing together diverse perspectives, much like how ocean currents weave together the world's waters. It's about creating an environment where everyone, regardless of background, feels valued and heard. Just as ocean currents are essential for the health of our planet, inclusivity is vital for the success and innovation of a business. And you know what? It's not just a nice to have, it's a must-have in today's global economy. So, let's define inclusivity with some vivid examples. Imagine inclusivity as 1. Landing a big client, that moment when all your hard work pays off, and you feel a sense of accomplishment and unity with your team. 2. Selling a business, the culmination of years of effort, where diverse skills and perspectives come together to create something truly valuable. 3. Winning a race, the thrill of crossing the finish line, knowing that your diverse team's strengths and differences propelled you to victory. 4. Writing a hit song, the magic of combining different musical talents and ideas to create something that resonates with a wide audience. 5. Building a dream home, the joy of seeing your vision come to life, with every room reflecting the diverse tastes and needs of your family. Now, let's look at ocean currents. Think of them as 1. Waiting for a late bus, they're always moving, sometimes slow and sometimes fast, but they're always on their way, connecting distant places. 2. Learning to cook without burning the kitchen, it takes time and practice, but eventually, you master the art of blending different ingredients, just like how currents mix waters from different parts of the world. 3. Saving for a dream vacation, a steady flow of small efforts that eventually leads to a big reward, much like how currents slowly but surely transport nutrients across the oceans. 4. Teaching a kid to tie shoes, it requires patience and repetition, but the end result is a skill that connects them to the world around them, just as currents connect different ecosystems. 5. Debugging code all night, it's a process of trial and error, but eventually, you find the solution that makes everything work smoothly, much like how currents find their way through the world's waters. Now, let's analyze the relationship between inclusivity and ocean currents. Patience is like the fuel, and success is the destination, but sometimes the road is blocked. Inclusivity is the map that helps you navigate around those obstacles, just as ocean currents find new paths when faced with barriers. Both inclusivity and ocean currents are dynamic and ever-changing, constantly adapting to new conditions. They both bring together diverse elements to create something greater than the sum of their parts. And just like how ocean currents are essential for the health of our planet, inclusivity is crucial for the well-being and growth of a business. But don't just take my word for it. Let's look at some inspiring stories of perseverance and inclusivity. Take Thomas Edison, for example. Did you know that he failed 10,000 times before finally inventing the light bulb? That's right, 10,000 times. But he never gave up, and his persistence paid off in a big way. He once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Talk about a champion of inclusivity, he embraced every failure as a learning opportunity and kept pushing forward until he found success. Then there's J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. She faced rejection after rejection, with a total of 12 publishers turning down her manuscript before one finally took a chance on her. Can you imagine a world without Harry Potter? Neither can I. But Rowling never let those rejections get her down. She kept believing in her story and the power of inclusivity, and now her books have touched the lives of millions of people around the world. And let's not forget about Colonel Harlan Sanders, the founder of KFC. He was 65 years old when he started pitching his chicken recipe to restaurants, and he was rejected over 1,000 times before finally finding a partner. That's right, over 1,000 times. But he never lost faith in his dream, and now KFC is a global brand that brings people together over a shared love of food. Talk about the power of inclusivity. These stories remind us that success often comes from embracing diversity and persisting through challenges. And that's exactly what inclusivity in business is all about. It's about bringing together different perspectives and experiences to create something truly innovative and impactful. But inclusivity isn't just about success stories, it's also about the teachings of great figures like Maya Angelou. She once said, "We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike." Her words remind us that our differences are what make us strong, and that by embracing those differences, we can create a more united and prosperous world. And in the business world, we have leaders like Susan Wojcicki, the former CEO of YouTube, who championed a culture of inclusivity. She believed that by fostering an environment where diverse voices could thrive, YouTube could drive innovation and growth. Under her leadership, YouTube became a platform where people from all walks of life could share their stories and connect with others, creating a global community that values diversity and inclusivity. Speaking of global communities, let's look at the economic story of Airbnb. This company embraced inclusivity by allowing people from different backgrounds to share their homes and cultures with travelers from around the world. By doing so, they transformed the travel industry and created a global community that values diversity and connection. Airbnb's success shows us that inclusivity isn't just good for business, it's essential for creating a more connected and understanding world. So, what can we learn from the natural insight of ocean currents, the teachings of Maya Angelou, the leadership of Susan Wojcicki, and the economic success of Airbnb? We can learn that inclusivity is the key to thriving in business and in life. It's about embracing our differences and using them to create something greater than ourselves. But let's be real, inclusivity isn't always easy. It's like trying to untangle a giant ball of yarn. It can be frustrating and time-consuming, but the end result is worth it. And sometimes, it can feel like you're trying to herd cats. Everyone has their own ideas and opinions, and getting them to work together can be a challenge. But with patience and persistence, you can create a team that's more powerful and effective than you ever imagined. And let's not forget the funny side of inclusivity. It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Sometimes, you need to get creative and think outside the box to make things work. Or it's like trying to teach a dog to do tricks. It might take some time and treats, but eventually, you'll get there. And let's be honest, inclusivity can be as messy as a toddler's birthday party, but it's also just as joyful and rewarding. So, as we continue our journey into the world of inclusivity in business, remember the power of ocean currents and the wisdom of Maya Angelou. Embrace the leadership of Susan Wojcicki and the success of Airbnb. And most importantly, keep pushing forward with patience, persistence, and a sense of humor. Because in the end, inclusivity is what will help us all thrive, in business, in life, and in the world around us. Welcome back, folks. So, we've been diving into the incredible world of inclusivity in business, right? And we've seen how it's kind of like those ocean currents, constantly moving, connecting, and bringing together different elements. Pretty cool, huh? Now, let's keep this journey going and explore some philosophies from two incredible figures, Maya Angelou and Susan Wojcicki. We'll see how their teachings tie into inclusivity and those ever-flowing ocean currents. First up, let's look at three philosophies from Maya Angelou, who's like our modern-day Aristotle when it comes to inclusivity. Her teachings are all about arete, or excellence, and how it's achieved through embracing diversity and unity. Philosophy 1, we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. This is like saying that ocean currents, no matter where they start, eventually mix and blend into one big, beautiful, interconnected system. In business, this means that when we recognize and celebrate our similarities, we create a stronger, more cohesive team. It's like a big family reunion where everyone brings their own unique dish to the table, but we all sit down and enjoy the feast together. Let's see how this philosophy plays out in different fields. For an athlete, striving for arete means training with teammates from diverse backgrounds, learning from their unique skills and experiences. It's like a basketball player practicing with a soccer player and picking up new footwork techniques. For a chef, arete comes from experimenting with ingredients from different cultures, creating fusion dishes that delight and surprise customers. It's like a French chef adding a dash of Indian spice to a classic sauce. And for a painter, arete is achieved by drawing inspiration from various art movements and styles, blending them into a unique, personal expression. It's like a modern artist incorporating elements of surrealism and impressionism into a single masterpiece. Philosophy 2, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. This is like saying that ocean currents may shift and change, but the warmth they bring to coastal regions leaves a lasting impact. In business, creating an inclusive environment where everyone feels valued and respected is like sending out warm currents that nourish and support the entire organization. It's like a cozy blanket that wraps around everyone, making them feel safe and appreciated. Let's see how this philosophy applies to different professions. For an athlete, making others feel valued means being a supportive teammate, cheering on others even when they're not in the spotlight. It's like a star player passing the ball to a rookie for the game-winning shot. For a chef, it means creating a kitchen culture where every team member's input is welcomed and celebrated, leading to a more collaborative and creative atmosphere. It's like a head chef asking a dishwasher for their opinion on a new dish. And for a painter, it means fostering a community where artists of all skill levels can learn from and inspire each other, creating a vibrant and supportive art scene. It's like a famous painter mentoring a young student and helping them find their own unique style. Philosophy 3: You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. This is like saying that ocean currents are constantly in motion, always bringing new nutrients and life to different parts of the world. In business, an inclusive environment that encourages diverse perspectives and ideas is like a never-ending well of creativity, always flowing and growing. It's like a bottomless cup of coffee that keeps you energized and inspired, no matter how much you drink. Let's see how this philosophy plays out in different fields. For an athlete, embracing creativity means trying new training techniques and strategies, even if they seem unconventional at first. It's like a runner experimenting with yoga to improve their flexibility and performance. For a chef, it means constantly innovating and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the kitchen, creating new dishes that surprise and delight customers. It's like a pastry chef inventing a new type of croissant that becomes the next big food trend. And for a painter, it means exploring new mediums and techniques, always seeking to expand their artistic horizons. It's like a watercolor artist trying their hand at oil painting and discovering a whole new world of possibilities. Now, let's shift gears and look at 3 philosophies from Susan Wojcicki, who's like our modern-day Malcolm Gladwell when it comes to inclusivity. Her teachings are all about the power of the 10,000-hour rule and how it applies to creating an inclusive, innovative business environment. Philosophy 1: The most important thing is to keep trying, be persistent. This is like saying that ocean currents never stop moving, even when they face obstacles like land masses or icebergs. In business, being persistent in the face of challenges and setbacks is crucial for creating an inclusive culture that values diversity and fosters growth. It's like a determined swimmer who keeps kicking and stroking, even when the waves are crashing against them. Let's see how this philosophy applies to different professions. For a guitarist, persistence means practicing for those 10,000 hours, even when their fingers are sore and the notes aren't coming out right. It's like a beginner strumming the same chord progression over and over until they finally get it right. For a coder, it means debugging code for hours on end, refusing to give up until the program runs smoothly. It's like a developer pulling an all-nighter to fix a pesky bug that's been driving them crazy. And for a surgeon, it means constantly refining their skills and techniques, always striving for perfection even after years of experience. It's like a seasoned doctor learning a new, less invasive procedure and practicing it until they can perform it flawlessly. Philosophy 2: Diversity and inclusion, which are the real sources of innovation, take courage and persistence. This is like saying that ocean currents sometimes have to push through narrow straits and rocky coastlines to reach new destinations. In business, championing diversity and inclusion requires bravery and determination, but the rewards are well worth it. It's like a brave explorer setting sail into uncharted waters, knowing that they might discover something incredible on the other side. Let's see how this philosophy plays out in different fields. For a guitarist, embracing diversity means learning from musicians of different genres and backgrounds, incorporating their unique styles into their own playing. It's like a rock guitarist taking lessons from a jazz musician and adding some cool new chords to their repertoire. For a coder, it means working with developers from different countries and cultures, learning new programming languages and approaches that expand their skill set. It's like an American coder collaborating with a team in India and picking up some awesome new tricks. And for a surgeon, it means staying up to date with the latest medical research and techniques from around the world, always seeking to improve patient outcomes. It's like a surgeon attending a conference in Japan and learning about a groundbreaking new procedure that could save lives. Philosophy 3: If you want to be successful, you have to be willing to see failure as a learning opportunity. This is like saying that ocean currents sometimes get diverted or slowed down by storms and other disruptions, but they always find a way to keep flowing. In business, viewing failure as a chance to grow and improve is essential for creating an inclusive culture that encourages risk-taking and innovation. It's like a surfer who wipes out on a big wave but paddles back out to try again, determined to ride it successfully next time. Let's see how this philosophy applies to different professions. For a guitarist, seeing failure as a learning opportunity means analyzing a botched performance and figuring out what went wrong, then practicing those tricky parts until they get them right. It's like a musician messing up a solo during a live show but using that experience to nail it the next time around. For a coder, it means debugging a failed program and using that knowledge to write better, more efficient code in the future. It's like a developer whose app crashes on launch day but uses that experience to create a more stable version 2.0. And for a surgeon, it means reviewing a complicated case where things didn't go as planned and using that insight to improve their technique and decision-making going forward. It's like a doctor who loses a patient but uses that heartbreaking experience to save countless lives in the future. Now, let's take a look at 3 inspiring stories of businesses that have embraced inclusivity and achieved incredible success as a result. Story 1: Disney's bankruptcy to empire rise. Back in the 1930s, Walt Disney was facing bankruptcy and his dreams seemed to be slipping away. But he never gave up on his vision of creating a world where everyone could come together and experience the magic of storytelling. By embracing inclusivity and creating characters and stories that resonated with people from all walks of life, Disney slowly but surely built an empire. Today, Disney is a global powerhouse that brings joy and wonder to millions of people every day, proving that inclusivity is the key to creating something truly magical. Story 2: Musk's SpaceX near failures. Elon Musk's journey with SpaceX has been a wild ride, full of ups and downs. In the early days, the company faced numerous setbacks and failures, with rockets exploding on the launch pad and investors losing faith. But Musk never wavered in his belief that space exploration should be accessible to everyone, not just a select few. By fostering a culture of inclusivity and encouraging his team to think big and take risks, Musk has transformed SpaceX into a trailblazing company that's revolutionizing the way we explore the cosmos. It's like a spaceship navigating through a meteor shower, dodging obstacles and emerging stronger on the other side. Story 3: Oprah's rags to TV queen journey. Oprah Winfrey's story is the ultimate rags to riches tale, but it's also a powerful example of how inclusivity can change lives. Growing up in poverty and facing numerous challenges, Oprah never let her circumstances define her. Instead, she used her platform to give a voice to the voiceless and create a space where people from all backgrounds could come together and share their stories. By embracing inclusivity and building a media empire that celebrates diversity, Oprah has become one of the most influential and beloved figures in the world. It's like a seed planted in rocky soil, struggling to grow at first but eventually blossoming into a beautiful, thriving tree that provides shade and nourishment for all. So, there you have it, folks. We've seen how inclusivity is like those ocean currents, constantly flowing, connecting, and bringing together diverse elements to create something truly beautiful and powerful. Whether it's through Maya Angelou's teachings on Arete and unity or Susan Wojcicki's emphasis on persistence and courage, we can see that inclusivity is the key to unlocking innovation, growth, and success in business. And as we've seen from the stories of Disney, SpaceX, and Oprah, embracing inclusivity isn't just the right thing to do, it's also the smart thing to do. So, let's keep swimming with those currents, my friends, and see where this incredible journey takes us. As we dive into the final stretch of our journey exploring inclusivity in business, let's take a moment to reflect on the powerful currents we've navigated. You see the point, don't you? Just as ocean currents interweave the world's waters, inclusivity in business weaves together diverse perspectives, creating a tapestry of innovation and growth. Maya Angelou's wisdom reminds us that our differences are what make us stronger, much like how Susan Wojcicki fostered an environment at YouTube where diverse voices could thrive. And let's not forget Airbnb's transformative story, which shows us that embracing inclusivity can change entire industries and build global communities. Now, let's zoom out and consider what this all means for life. Inclusivity isn't just a business strategy, it's a life philosophy. It's about recognizing that every person, no matter their background, has something unique to offer. When we apply this mindset to our daily lives, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. Life lessons are like Wi-Fi signals, hard to catch but game-changing when you do. So, can we apply these principles? Absolutely. Here are 5 tips to help you embrace inclusivity in your life. 1. Listen actively. Make a conscious effort to listen to people from different backgrounds. Their stories and perspectives can broaden your own understanding of the world. By truly hearing others, you'll find common ground and appreciate the richness of diversity. 2. Seek out diverse environments, whether it's joining a new club, attending a cultural event, or simply striking up a conversation with someone different from you. Seek out opportunities to engage with diverse groups. You'll be amazed at the fresh ideas and insights you gain. 3. Challenge your assumptions. We all have biases, but by recognizing and questioning them, we can grow and learn. When you catch yourself making an assumption about someone, pause and consider if there might be another perspective you're missing. 4. Celebrate differences. Instead of focusing on what sets us apart, celebrate the unique qualities that each person brings to the table. Host a potluck where everyone shares a dish from their culture, or organize an event that showcases the talents and traditions of diverse communities. 5. Be an ally. Stand up for those who may not have a voice in certain situations. Whether it's calling out discrimination or advocating for equal opportunities, being an ally can make a world of difference in someone's life. Now, let's dive into some inspiring stories that embody the spirit of inclusivity and perseverance. First, there's Steve Jobs' remarkable comeback at Apple. After being ousted from the company he co-founded, Jobs could have given up. But instead, he used his time away to nurture his creativity and vision. When he returned to Apple in 1997, he brought with him a renewed sense of purpose and innovation, leading the company to unprecedented success. His story shows us that sometimes, the path to inclusivity and success is a winding one, but it's worth the journey. Then there's Nelson Mandela's incredible 27-year wait for freedom. Imprisoned for his fight against apartheid, Mandela could have let bitterness consume him. But instead, he used his time in prison to learn, grow, and plan for a more inclusive South Africa. When he was finally released in 1990, he led his country towards reconciliation and unity, proving that even the longest waits can lead to transformative change. Albert Einstein's late-blooming genius is another testament to the power of inclusivity. Struggling in school and often considered a slow learner, Einstein faced many challenges on his path to becoming one of the world's greatest scientists. But he never let others' perceptions of him define his potential. By embracing his unique way of thinking and persisting in the face of adversity, Einstein revolutionized our understanding of the universe, showing us that inclusivity means celebrating all forms of intelligence and talent. And let's not forget Ludwig van Beethoven's incredible ability to compose masterpieces despite his deafness. As his hearing deteriorated, Beethoven could have given up on his music. But instead, he found new ways to connect with his art, using vibrations and visualizations to create some of his most celebrated works. His story reminds us that inclusivity means finding ways to include everyone, no matter their challenges or limitations. As we wrap up this exploration of inclusivity in business and life, I want to leave you with a few questions to ponder. What's your toughest wait? Share below. Could you keep going after 1,000 no's? Have you ever had a moment where a life lesson hit you like a Wi-Fi signal, changing everything? What's one way you can be more inclusive in your daily life, starting today? And finally, who is your personal hero of inclusivity, and why? Remember, inclusivity is like a delicious smoothie. You blend together all the different ingredients, and the result is something greater than the sum of its parts. It's like trying to find your keys in the morning. It might take some effort, but once you do, you're ready to take on the world. And just like a surprise party, inclusivity can bring unexpected joy and connection when you least expect it. So, as you go out into the world, keep these stories and lessons in mind. Embrace the ocean currents of diversity and unity, and let them guide you towards a more inclusive, innovative, and fulfilling life. And don't forget to share your own experiences and insights in the comments below. We're all in this journey together, and your voice matters. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of inclusivity in business and life. Until next time, keep swimming in the currents of connection and growth, and remember, together, we can create a world that celebrates and uplifts every single one of us.